Okay, so the error is still here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that angle bracket back. And just like I was saying, it just because it's working does not mean it's right. And I know it could be kind of difficult because, well, if it's working, how do you know there's something wrong? Well, you have just go back and check to make sure that you have open and closed tags. Just like in the assignment, I say that you have to be very detailed in the hints here. And that's what I mean by that. You need to make sure that you use those angle brackets. You need to make sure that you use the slash when it's a close. So just be sure you use those characters. All right, okay, and I already mentioned after making changes in the HTML file in Notepad++, then you want to save and then refresh on the browser. Okay. Okay, so I think that is good. So once you did all of that, I already mentioned that to have the browser Notepad open, check your work frequently. Um, I would say, now we're not doing anything that difficult, but just in case you want to make sure that what you're doing is working, then you might want to save your work frequently. So you make a change, you save it, you refresh it, it's okay, then move on. Because if you just continue doing a whole bunch of code and you don't check it, well, then you won't know where the error is, or at least it'll be harder to find because you don't know exactly where it was because you didn't check uh, recently where the error could have been. So that's just a recommendation. Also, I want to make sure that you check the rubric, and the rubric is down here on the web page. And this actually tells you how I'm going to be grading. So if you have both HTML tags, the open and the close, you get 20 points. You have both the head tags, you get 20 points. Both body tags, you have your name, that's 10 points. I check to make sure that it has the HTML extension, that's 15 points, and then you have to have the indentations, and that's another 15 points. So let's say that you had both, or let's say you're missing one of the HTML tags and you just didn't have the close. And again, this will still work, unfortunately. It doesn't tell you that it's going to be bad, but it still works. But if I didn't get that second HTML tag, that's 10 points off. Let's say you had that tag, but you didn't have the slash, well, then that's 5 points off. So just be sure that you double check to make sure that you have, the open and close the way it should be. And so just, verify through all of these, all the assignments should have rubrics, so that way you can verify that, you'll be getting the grade that you deserve. I know that some of you might have experience, so I added a little comment down here that you can add code you're familiar with. So if you know how to do CSS or do the background, you can be creative, that's fine. But just remember, and you could do that with, most of the assignments that you're going to be getting. But just remember though, I don't want you going too crazy about being creative. Unless you know for sure you've done all of these things, you're going to get that 100, then you could be a little bit more creative with your assignment. Okay, and it would be your time to show off too. I've seen some really great pages from people. But just remember, time management, be sure you do this and so you can get that grade. Okay, so that is pretty much it for the assignment. And oh, I'm sorry. So actually, after you test the file and everything works, then you want to submit it. And just to submit, I know this is a little bit different than what you've done with the quizzes. You just fill in the blanks and then you hit submit quiz. Well, when it comes to this lab, remember you want to make sure that you save it as .html. Then you go into lab 1. You can click on, it'll say submit assignment, but I've already shown this. So it says resubmit, and you can resubmit too. Let's say you submitted a file, but then you realized, oh, wait a minute, I forgot something. You can resubmit it. And sometimes when there's an error or you just submit the wrong thing, I'll say, hey, could you resubmit because there's an issue. So anyway, if you click the blue submit assignment button on top, then you do choose file. And then that'll give you the opportunity to go wherever you saved it and choose that file, hit submit, and you are good to go. All right. And always remember too, if you have any issues with even you're unsure about the assignment or you're unsure about anything, please feel free to contact me and let me know. Hey, if for some reason you don't have Notepad, or let's just say that you want to do your assignment on your phone, but you can't install the software, you can actually use any text software just like Notepad. So if you click on start and do an N, it'll give you, okay, well, on your computer, you might have this already installed, but if you don't, you can always just use regular Notepad and you can type in these tags. And actually, this is the way I started off. I started off just using Notepad because they just didn't have editors for Notepad at the time. I mean, editors for HTML at the time, or maybe they did, but I just wasn't aware of it because the software that you use to create programming or programs, you can create programs or different kinds of programs using the same software. So like NetBeans, you can create many different types of programs. That's the name of a program. So you can actually go ahead and, I'm cheating a little bit here. I'm just gonna I'm not gonna indent, so I'm gonna take points off of myself. But, okay, so I'm creating a quick website just to show you, or not a website, but a quick web page to show you that you can still do it in Notepad or any text editing software. So you could even maybe create a file in Google Docs. Let's say you're not at home, but you still want to do your work. You can do it in Google Docs, but just as long as at the end, after you're done, you want to copy and paste your code into something where you can save it as an HTML or HTML file. So, okay, so this is regular Notepad. And when I do file save as type, the only option is text documents or all files. We don't want it as a text document because that will not be an HTML file. So if you choose all files and I'm just going to call it my page.html. Since I'm adding .html while I'm using regular Notepad, it will still create an HTML file for me. So I'm going to go ahead and save it in the downloads 1311 folder like I saved the other one. I called it my page and I'm hitting save. So now when I go into File Explorer, I can go into downloads 1311. This is the page I just created. Notice how I mentioned before, it does have the extension here because I did click view and then file name extensions. So I see it all the time. I double click it and now it opens the web page. So even though I created it in regular Notepad, I was still able to create a web page. So I'll just change it, do file, save, and then refresh so you can still see it there. So I'm not sure exactly how on the phone or wherever you create it, if you didn't have access to a computer, you can, I don't know if you can, save and refresh, but at least you can do something so you can start it. So at this point right now, use Notepad++. You can use Notepad, you can use any other software that you normally use for programming, whatever you prefer. The only reason why I choose Notepad++ is because it helps you with the different colors. So see how I type in text? Well, that is a dark black color. The tags are another color. When you do scripting in the future, things inside there, when you do JavaScript, things inside there might be different colors. I'm not sure. Okay. So it's just a lighter color, but it's helpful because it shows you the different colors and the different tags. And also notice how now I'm in the head tags. Well, it shows me the open and close. So it confirms that yes, I have both. So that's the benefit of using Notepad++ and a lot of other programs that you use to create programs, or IDEs is what they call it. When you use the IDE to create, HTML files or programs, it will have colors like this. So it's up to you which IDE you use. But Notepad++ is what I recommend for now. Notepad, notice that there's no colors. It doesn't tell you that there's an open and close tag. So, but at least it's something that you can use if at some point you really don't have access to your computer Notepad, but you want to do your work. And speaking of that, also know that, these, using your phone or using your tablet, you can log into this class and you can watch these recordings and, wherever you are. So the only thing I need you to submit is just the HTML file. So you don't need to do any screenshots or anything else. I just need the HTML file.